Alright, I think this is officially my favorite episode of all of RWBY. I'm only 8 episodes in, and in this, I had to watch this episode twice just to enjoy it that much. This is just this is a work of art of an episode. And I'm sitting there going, why didn't I watch this show when it came out? Damn. Anyways, this is some of the best action I've ever seen Rooster Teeth ever do. Seriously, this rivals and surpasses even some of the best fights on Red versus Blue. Um, Even some of the best fights on Red versus Blue. So it starts off with we learn kind of why Ruby is flying through the air. Her and Wise got basically taken by this giant bird that they have to fight later on. Ruby let go, but then John, who got flung by the scorpion, flies into her and they smack into a tree. John's stuck in the tree. Ruby sort of gets off. And Wise, when Wise lets go from the bird, John John tries to be heroic and save Wise, but it occurs to them that they're both falling. John falls face down, and Wise lands on her butt, sitting up on his back. Ow. Seriously, I thought, that one bit from Red versus Blue where Griff takes, he after that huge big fight with Tex, where he takes the cinder block to the groin. Ooh, I think this is worse. High maintenance chick to the back. Ouch. Anyways, the fights alone. Anyways, there's sort of the two teams. There's the RWBY team and the Juniper team. John, Nora, Piera, and Ren. They fight the big scorpion, and a pretty damn epic fight. Nora uses this it looks like it's a grenade launcher that turns into a hammer. Very happy-go-lucky, a thing fires hearts. It has hearts all over it. They fight that thing. Pretty damn epic. They cut off its stinger. We see John. He's a bit of a strategist, actually. He knows, he's telling people what to do, how to do it. I like that. That's great. I just love it after they defeat the thing. Ren sort of gets knocked out fairly early on. After the whole thing is fought, Ren just sort of walks on screen. He's like, poof. It just lands right there. Anyways, the second fight, though, is probably the most epic thing I've seen ever. It's, Ruby, Wise, Blake, and, Yang fighting this giant bird, and just, wow, it's, first it, well, actually, at first, so they fight this giant thing, and it's just they don't really know what to do, actually. It's just they're hitting it with everything they got, but nothing works. At one point, Yang starts shooting in the thing's mouth, nothing happens. So then, Ruby concocts a plan. What it is, Wise freezes the thing its tail, and then, Blake uses her weapon, this sort of gun chuck, I guess you could call it, and they use that as a slingshot, and then they use Wise's magic to sort of amplify the attack. And what it is, it's next to a cliff and a bridge. Wise sort of, she takes the thing, gets the scythe around its neck, pulls it up, and then decapitates it. And it's just like that. I'm like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen all day. Yeah, but that's the second half of the episode. The first half is sort of they all kind of get there, and it's just okay, we got the things, now we just need to go back. But then they had to fight these monsters. There was a nice little exchange between Wise and Ruby. Ruby's about to fight the big scorpion, and we see her clear character flaw, that she's very ambitious and headstrong, doesn't really think things through. Wise has to save her from the big scorpion, and it's sort of Wise says, "Here, look, I'll be nicer now. Just please, just don't think with your head too often. Don't be so headstrong all the time," which I thought was nice. It's also a neat little exchange before Ruby gets slingshotted to the big bird. Wise is I could make this shot. And Ruby's really? I don't know. I thought that was kind of cute. I like seeing the. There's also this great little moment between what is after they all have their chess pieces, they all start to run off, and Yang just sort of sits there for a second, just admiring her sister, and it's just a nice little subtle moment. She's proud of her. It's day one of the academy, and she's already kicking ass and taking names and leading charges. I just like seeing that. That's great. Uh, Admittedly, though, I think of those four, though, I think I don't want to say least interesting, but the one that doesn't really have much of an impression, I think, is Blake Black. I don't know. It's just we just haven't. Maybe it's just it's still early and we haven't really seen much of her. It's just apart from like her love of reading and stories and whatnot, but just haven't really seen much of her yet. I must say. But in due time, I assume we'll see where this goes. Excuse me. But I just think it's great. The action's fantastic. The animation's just amazing to watch. What else is there to say? I just love at one point it's this big convoluted mess at the beginning, and Yang just goes Super Saiyan. She's like, "Everybody, shut up!" I just thought that was great as well. What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, the ending as well. So they're all they're all congratulated, and then that's how they're put into the teams. Team Juniper, John, Nora, Piera, and Ren, led by John actually, and he's like, "Wow, well, I'm leading this. Well, cool." And Team RWBY, obviously, and another team as well, but I think we didn't really see them at all. Cardinal, I think. So, CRDL, I think. I don't know. But they'll probably come into play later. And at the end of the episode, we actually see that villain from a few episodes ago. He's got these dust crystals, and you see these he's just in some warehouse or something. He's looking at a map with all these looks like directions and whatnot, labeled districts, arrows pointing there. So clearly he's got something big planned, and he says just sort of ends with him saying, "We're gonna need more men." And he's got a shitload of crystals, different colors and sizes and whatnot, dust crystals or whatever. But yeah, it's just wow. It's just the action alone is just whoa. I'm like, Monty's pretty incredible at what he did, but just wow. So detailed and everything. That's what I like about the animation, is that it's not just it's a big thing, so it's less detailed. No, just everything. No matter how big or how small, it's pretty well detailed. The only thing I will say is that sometimes you can tell maybe it's just the actor who's playing a character is emoting, but the face or the character, just the way it's sort of shown, doesn't really feel like that emotion is sort of the same with the voice. I don't know. There's a bit where Yang has this really sort of happy line, and the character it didn't really look very it looked happy. She looked happy, but didn't really look happy. I don't know. Just some minor thing here and there. But I do like where it's going. Yeah, just a nice lengthy episode to really just get the blood pumping, and I hope the rest of the show has as great as action as this. From what I hear from a friend of mine, he says he was telling me about this episode just before I was watching it, and he says the action in this one's great, but trust me, it gets better along the way. So I hope it does. It gets better along the way. What else is there? Do I like? I think, well, they do have the characters all have good characterization. I think maybe it's just my personal opinion, really, but I don't like big ensemble shows and movies, really. This is 8 characters now. Those are 8 characters of, that were in this, plus, the Dean and the Enchantress and the main villain. That's 11 at the moment. That's just a lot to sort of, I guess, keep in check, really, and assuming it's going to be in that other team, Cardinals, which we don't really know, but I'm assuming they come into play later. That's 17 characters. Can't count. 15 characters at the moment, and assuming any more along the way. Oops. But yeah, it's just we'll see where it goes. I guess I said I was going to do these once a day, but I guess this show is just, it's very like absorbing, really. It just, I watch one episode, I want to watch them all now. I might limit myself. Part of me kind of wants to like take my time. Part of me just kind of wants to like do them all as quick as I can, I guess. But I don't know, like the fact that I just enjoyed this episode so much to the point where I wanted to watch it again right after, and where I wanted to watch it right after. I'm just watching it the first time just really just shows that I should have watched this show when it came out. I regret that decision very fully. Yeah, I wish I had watched this show when it came out. But it's the advantage of watching it now is that I can just watch it all the way through, as opposed to waiting a week. But yeah, this like if I was watching this show when it first came out, this would be the type of show I'd watch. Like I'd be just waiting there just with eager anticipation for the next episode. But that's all I really have to say. Very enjoyable episode, great action, great pace. The action doesn't really feel over the top. Well, yeah, it is a bit over the top, but it's sort of within, within tone with the show. Once again, characters with superhuman abilities, and really, like, the smallest of things will hurt them. I don't know. The Scyther rifle. I think that thing is cool. I do like Nora's weapon, though. It's like a grenade launcher that turns into a hammer, and very, like, Harley Quinn-esque character. She's almost like, I almost have her expecting to yell out, Mr. J! And Putin, whenever she's with Ren. But I do like this sort of thing going on between Jean and Pierre, that they look cute together. Kind of hope Ruby ends up with somebody, though. But, we'll see. I do like that. I do like that, this sort of, they're in teams now, so they're going to have to work together. I do like that. Well, yeah, they're still at odds a bit, but Wise and Ruby are kind of, they have more respect for one another now. Like, Ruby thought of this crazy plan that just worked, like it saved them all. While Wise, like, she realizes her mistake. She's not going to just be an annoying bitch all day, which I thought was great. Not much else to say. Just I should have watched this show when it came out. This is some of the best action I've seen in a long time, really, both live action and animation. But yeah, and I like that it keeps it like in tone with the characters as well. That's all I have to say. So I'll be looking forward to episode 9, which I hear is a short episode. So, see you later.